Welcome to Tila's Fashion, and on this video I'm going to be showing you guys how I make my corset top, and later on in this video I'm going to be giving out very useful tips with sizing, so make sure you watch to the end to grab onto those tips. Let's get right into this tutorial. So first thing I'm doing here is I am measuring out the length of the waist, under bust and bust line, and I'm just going to draw them out. So the next thing I'm measuring is the nipple to nipple measurement. Is usually between 3.5 to 4.5 inches, but I'll be using 4 inches here. 4 inches is like the standard measurement that I use. Next thing I'm doing is trying to give this flat form some shape. I'm going to be taking 1 inch to the left and to the right of that nipple to nipple line we drew out previously. Next, I'm connecting the two lines from the under bust to the bust line, and I'm going to be connecting this in a curved shape, a curved manner. If you have a French curve, that would be better for you, but I don't have that, so I'm just freestyling it. Next, I am marking down the shoulder width and the armhole as a guideline, because I'm still going to be cutting this out. So I'm just marking it down as a guideline. You could do this earlier in the pattern drafting, but I'm just doing mine here. And I'm just going to be extending the armhole length. So now we've gotten the basics out of the way, we can get right into the main corset pattern drafting. Here I am measuring how deep I want the neckline to be. I'm picking 7 inches at the midline there and 8 inches at that nipple to nipple line we drew earlier, and this is going to give it a sweetheart kind of shape. Next, I'm measuring the area between the bust at the midline there, and I'm going to be measuring 1/2 inch and just extending it out. Now I'll just connect the two marked out measurements for the neckline to each other, and I'll also connect them to the armhole. Next, I'm going to be taking 1.5 inch to the right side of the nipple to nipple line there, and I'm going to take 1/2 inch to the left side of the line, and that's a total of 2 inches. Because of the difference in width from the nipple to nipple line there, the length of the left and the right parts would be different, so I'll be extending that so they could have equal length. Now I'm going to take the bust measurement and I'll divide that by 4, and whatever I get, I'm just going to mark that down. I'm going to be adding the allowance later also. Next, I'm going to take the waist circumference measurement and I'm going to divide that by 4, and I'm also going to add the 2 inches we took at that nipple to nipple line, and I'm going to add the 2 inches back into the measurement here, and whatever I get, I'm going to mark that down. Same thing for the waist circumference measurement. We're going to take that and divide it by 4. Whatever we get, we're going to add the 2 inches from the nipple to nipple line that we took previously, add that to it, and then we're going to mark that down. Now I'm just joining all the lines together to just give it its shape, and I'm also going to be adding 2 inches allowance at the side, the normal 2 inches allowance. Next, I'm going to be drawing out the cup of the corset, and I'm going to take it from the armhole there. The secret to the perfect corset is actually understanding your client's physique. My client over here has her bust to the side, she has sided boobs, so I'm going to create enough space at the side there to accommodate that. Yes, guys, that's the point basically. You need to understand your client's physique and try to draw the cup accordingly. Yeah, so I'm going to be taking 1 inch at the corner there because I want to give this enough space at the side, like I said earlier, for my clients. So I'm just going to be taking 1 inch there. Yeah, so I'm going to extend the line at the center front, and I'm also going to take about 1.5 inch at the lower part of the center front there at the under bust, and I'm just going to connect all of that together. The cup in this tutorial is a 3-part cup, and you could leave yours as a 2-part cup. You could also make yours a 4-part cup, but this is actually a 3-part cup. So I'm going to be taking 1.5 inch at the top of the cup there, and I'm going to mark that out. When I'm cutting it out, I'll cut it out and then join it back, and you're going to see just how I do that later on. So next I'm showing you guys where I'll be adding allowance, 0.5 inch allowance. I won't be adding it in this video, but when you're cutting out your fabric you should add your 1.5 inch allowance in these areas. In the places we haven't added allowance yet, basically you'll be adding your allowance, then your sewing allowance. Put down the bust, under bust and waist measurements again for the back piece, and I also took out the zip allowance, which is 1 inch for the back piece, and I'm also just going to mark out that nipple to nipple line that I marked on the front piece, on the back piece for the darts. In this case it's going to be the darts, and I'm taking 0.5 inch on each side. Next, I'm going to be taking the bust, under bust and waist circumference measurements. I'm going to divide them by 4, and then I'm going to add the 1 inch we took for the dart there, and I'm also going to add the 2 inches allowance. and I'm just going to mark those down, and I'm going to join that line together. So this is what the back piece is going to look like. So this is the front and the back piece. If you're listening to my voice right now, thank you so much for watching till the end. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. Bye.